you're winning baseball games, it seems like every weekend is a big weekend, and the Boilermakers will have another one coming up this weekend against Ohio State back in Alexander Field after Purdue swept Northwestern in Evanston last weekend. Hi, I'm Kyle Charters on This Week in Purdue Baseball with the SID Ben Turner and the head baseball coach Greg Goff. It was an excellent weekend in Evanston. To be able to go up and sweep a Big Ten opponent on the road is such a challenge, and now it sets up, like I said, another big weekend against Ohio State this weekend. But looking back on the past weekend, it was a great 3 games. You guys played well and really took it to Northwestern.
We did, Kyle. I thought we played really, really well all weekend. You know, when you go on the road, you have to be better than at home, you know. And so I thought we really did a great job. It all started with Cole on Friday, give us another quality start. Give us a chance to extend him and then use our bullpen as we did with Thomas and Jake and the rest of the guys or whatever. But, I thought it was really started with him and Zach Erdman, those 2 guys, man, when they gave us good starts like they did. And I thought, we played really good defense behind those guys and had some big-time hits there, on Friday and Saturday. So, anytime you go on the road, you get a series sweep. It's amazing. That was the first time that had been swept, all year in conference play. So, really, really, thankful for that.
And only 8 runs conceded in the 28 innings against Northwestern. And the big part of that was the continued excellent job by the bullpen. It ran the streak up to 19 consecutive in Big Ten play, 19 consecutive innings in Big Ten play dating back to the last week against Illinois without allowing a run. That streak finally ended on a solo home run on Sunday. Nothing to be too concerned about, but what a job by the bullpen over a week plus, and you'll hope to get more of those performances this weekend.
We do. I think we're really starting to, kind of find our niche with our bullpen and the roles that they're playing. I think Coach Newman's did a great job of keeping those guys going and having a good plan. Coach Media working in the bullpen and letting those guys know when they come in who they're going to be facing. And it makes a big deal. I think we got some great support staff, Kyle, and our players have really did a great job of coming in and really just kind of, from the inherited runners all the way through. I mean, they have been phenomenal.
A big chunk of that streak, scoreless innings by the bullpen, was thanks to the 8 scoreless against Illinois after they had that big first inning.
Yeah.
But you can't live like that. That's not going to be sustainable. And so my point to that is the starting pitching sets the bullpen up for success.
Right.
To have to make them only get 12, 13 outs or whatever.
Right.
And so from that standpoint, you already talked about CVA on Friday.
Yeah.
Zach Erdman and Austin Klug go out there as well, and they combined with CVA for 17 innings, only 4 earned runs allowed, way more strikeouts than walks. I mean, quality starting pitching, man, that helps winning in a big way.
It does, Ben. I tell you, just having those guys and getting quality starts from them, and just like on Friday when we didn't have to use Kramer, and he was ready to go on Saturday and Sunday, it made a huge difference for us, and so anytime we can extend those guys out, it gives us, some fresher arms as the weekend goes and so forth. So just really thankful for those starting pitchers and what they did up there. Wind was blowing straight out. And those guys, I thought, did a phenomenal job of just staying within and, making the pitches that Coach Newman called.
Yeah, every win in Evanston had a big moment or an inning that you would look to is what changed the game.
Right.
Friday, it's a 7-run ninth inning, all with 2 outs, like
Yes.
you said. Dylan Drake had a big home run in there as well.
Yeah.
Saturday, you get it in the 10th inning. Jake Kramer goes out there, strikes out their 4 and 5 hole hitters with the bases loaded and the game on the line. Talk about tough as nails. And then 4 home runs on Sunday on a hitter's day. A lot of times Sunday is hit day, and
Right.
you took the wheel out of Northwestern early, it felt like. So different ways to win those games, and it was fun for us to see you apply the dagger in different ways like that throughout the weekend.
Right, no doubt. I mean, I think our guys, the thing that our guys are doing, man, they are expecting to win. They're going out there every day with a great expectation, and I think it starts when they know they have good guys on the mound, that they know they're going to put some zeros up for us and give us a chance to score some runs. And just can't say enough about, Kramer on Saturday coming in, bases loaded, 1 out, and, we got a 1-run lead, and he punches out the 4 and 5 hole. I mean, it was huge deal. I think really kind of set the momentum for Sunday.
And it felt like that Saturday game was really the game
Yes.
of the weekend, that the team that won Saturday was going to have a real advantage. It felt like for the weekend, and your team was able to come back. One of the plays of that game, plays of the weekend, maybe plays of the season, involving your middle infielders and first baseman. One of the more remarkable double plays I think I've ever seen, with Zach Zykowski getting a backhanded stop up the middle, sort of just flipping the ball towards second base, and Weston Boyle grabbing it out of the air with his throwing hand and doing a 180 spin, and C.J. Richmond pulling the ball out of the ground too for the completion of that double play. A big play at a spot where it's a one-run game, and just what a highlight. I mean, that was just incredible.
It was, and again, Dylan, gets hurt, and we have another guy go down with injury, but another guy steps right in there. And can't say enough about Zach and what he did to make that play. I mean, he was ready to go. The game's probably different if we don't make that play. The ball goes up the middle, and we don't get the outs, and they probably end up scoring some runs. So can't say enough about Zach being ready to go, makes the feed to Weston, and then CJ, finishes it off. So, that's the thing that every weekend it seems like there's a big moment on defense. The week before was Brandon and the catch that he made. We just have been so stable and steady with our defense, and I just can't say enough about how well we've played on the defensive end of things to really kind of offense with a glove is what we talk about, changing momentum of games and being able to do that with our defense.
And those guys that are stepping up in spots where we have some injured starters have been fantastic for you. I mean, you look at Avery Moore in right field, Quincy Malbrough in left field. Those two guys helping out in big ways over the weekend. Avery Moore gets just a fantastic at-bat, sort of an overlooked, maybe if you're just looking at the box score in the ninth inning with 2 outs, full count, fouls a bunch of balls off, gets walked, sets up Dylan Drake for that home run, which opens up the big inning. It gives you a little bit more cushion there on Friday. Quincy Malbrough comes through then with the game-winning hit in the 10th inning on Saturday. You're getting production, and while you'd love to have starters back, and we're looking forward to that, your depth is showing, and those guys' ability to come in and play in big spots has just sort of helped you through this stretch, and hopefully will continue to until we start to get some guys back.
Yeah, they're going to have to, and we recruit those guys to play, and so they did a really good job. I just can't say enough about how they have kept themselves ready. They haven't let not playing full-time affect them and their attitudes, and just they've been ready. It's the next guy up mentality, and we have not missed a beat with those guys going in there and making the plays for us.
You have recently gotten some national pub attention that's been good, but you also want to keep your guys level a little bit, right? That there's a long way to go in the season. So that's a little bit of a balancing act, right? You want to see the recognition for your guys for a job well done, but also you've got a long way to go here with 12 games remaining in the Big Ten.
Right.
Each one of these series is going to be challenging in different ways, starting with Ohio State this weekend at USC, which is going to be a bear of its own. But nice to see the recognition, but also know that there's still a lot of work to be completed.
It is, and that's the thing that you can't get caught up in. We just try to make each week its own 7-day period and just try to be as good as we can be, and continue to just focus on us. Continue to prove that we're right, that we don't feel like that we are one of the top teams in the league and stuff like that. So we've got a big weekend this weekend with Ohio State coming in. My former assistant coach Justin Hare for 6 years over at Campbell. We have got a relationship, and just looking forward to those guys getting over here and having a chance to continue to compete in the Big Ten.
What are Justin's teams known for? Purdue played Campbell, your first year as head coach. That was very early in that season, but that was shut down early as well. He had a lot of success there, took them to a couple regionals. It's his second year at Ohio State. Man, they've really turned it around. They were just kind of so-so there through about St. Patrick's Day. And as of late, right there with you guys in UCLA is the hottest teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah, which is no surprise. I mean, he did a great job at Campbell, and he's a lot better coach than I am. He took it to a whole different level. So, it just takes time, and sometimes you don't get that time or whatever. But, he's got a great staff, and he's a great coach, and they are well coached, and they can really recruit, and they've brought in a lot of players, and so it's no surprise that they continue to do well, and it'll be a great series. I mean, they're going to be very competitive. They're going to try to run the bases. They're going to try to put pressure on you and do all the things that we try to do. So it's going to be the team that really defends the field, controls the strike zone, and gets the big hits.
The weather's been a little bit weird on us too, but man, the midweek game this week, the crowd came out.
Yes.
Huge crowd at Alexander.
Yes.
As long as the weather is good again this weekend, I would anticipate more big crowds, and they should see some great baseball because, as Ben mentioned, two of the hottest teams
Yes.
in the Big Ten playing this weekend in West Lafayette. You guys love playing in front of those supporters, right? I mean,
It
just
is.
makes the place buzz. It's a great place no matter what to watch a game.
Yeah.
But when the crowds are out there, man, it really feels like big time baseball.
It's unbelievable. I was just before coming in here, was watching the game, and it just continued to see just floods of people coming into those stands and filling that up. I mean, what a huge advantage it is for us to have them. I just want to thank everybody for coming out and just keep coming. Keep coming. Make Alexander the toughest place to play in the Big Ten. It makes a big difference for our players and for us. And we got some big series coming up.
No doubt about it. Starting this weekend on Friday against Ohio State. Thanks, Coach. Let's keep it rolling.
All right. Thank you.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. Austin Klug will join us coming up next on This Week in Purdue Baseball.
Play championship golf at the Burke Boilermaker Golf Complex. Enjoy great food and great drinks at the new Pete Dye Clubhouse. And shop official Purdue gear at the Purdue Pro Shop. Experience it all now at PurdueGolf.com.
Joined by Austin Klug on This Week in Purdue Baseball. Austin, it was a great series over the weekend at Northwestern, including your performance against the Wildcats, probably your best performance as a Boilermaker, and you've had a few good ones. Tell us a little bit about the game. Clearly, you probably wanted to bounce back after the start the week previous against Illinois, but also you guys had a couple of eventful days against Northwestern. Emotions were riding high, I think, at the end of the game on Saturday, and I would imagine that you came in sort of with the mentality to try to keep things calm and record outs. What was your mindset?
Yeah, my mindset coming in was, we had a chippy game on Saturday. Obviously won the series, but we needed a sweep. We hadn't had a sweep yet this year, and we'd had some opportunities too. And, my mindset was just do my job for the team. I'm more of a laid-back guy on the mound, not like the Thomas Howards or the Jake Kramers. So it was kind of nice to have that presence on the mound for the team and, just put up zeros so then we can have the opportunity to score and kind of shut them down for the rest of the day.
Yeah, you are more of a calming presence, I think, and both can be effective, certainly. But when you see the emotions riding high, like on Saturday, does that change anything with you? I mean, you're watching sort of that unfold, knowing that you're getting the ball, or suspecting at least that you're getting the ball the next day. Are you thinking at all about, how things are going a little bit, whether you can use some of that emotion to your advantage and those kind of things?
Yeah, and I mean, like our team feeds off that, especially the dugout. We got a lot of fiery guys on our team, and that's kind of been different than any other team I've been on these past few years. So it is good to feed off of. I don't feed off of it much. I mean, I kind of have it in the back of my mind, like I need to set the tone and get after these guys, but I kind of rely on my dugout and my teammates to get after them a little more than myself. So.
Right.
Yeah, set the tone you did in a big way, taking a shutout into the seventh inning. And what I think I was impressed with most is how you pitched with the lead so effectively, because your team gave you the lead by scoring in the first 3 innings, in some ways took the Wildcats out of it by making them play from behind. So pitching with the lead like that, does it change your approach at all?
I mean, a little, yeah. We're more focused on attacking the zone, not giving any free bases. Our coaching staff really focuses on shutdown innings. After we score, we need to put up a zero, keep the momentum going. So, yeah, that was a big focus on my end.
Feels like you're more of a curveball versus a slider specialist. I don't know what you name it exactly, but that breaking ball is a very effective out pitch to putting batters away. And you struck out 8 on Sunday. We've had multiple guys here on the show highlight you as a tough matchup for them, specifically because of that curveball. Can you kind of give us an idea how you're maybe a little bit more old school with that 12-6 traditional versus so many guys use slider, cutter, splitter these days?
Yeah, I'm over the top slot, so it's kind of natural for me to have a curveball, and I've always had it, but this year the feel is definitely there compared to last year. Last year I was more slider, but now I have both, so it really opens up a lot of things, especially with the fastball up in the zone. That was working well too. So
yeah. You filled a variety of roles for us this season, from starting on Sundays to starting some midweek games, coming out of the bullpen. Just what is that like, I guess, as a pitcher to have the versatility to be able to do that? Sort of need to have the mindset, I guess, to know that you could be called on at any moment. What's that been like for you?
it's been good. I mean, I'm just trying to do my job anywhere the coaching staff needs me for a win, whether it's out of the bullpen or starting. I mean, it's been a good experience because the past few years at junior college I started, summer ball I relieved, and then last year I was a reliever. So I've kind of gotten all sorts of facets of the bullpen and starting. So it's been good. I mean, no worries for me. So
have you felt more comfortable in year two? A lot of guys say that, I think, when they move up a level, that first year it's sort of an adjustment period, but by the time the second year rolls around, you're feeling a little bit more comfortable in those roles and sort of expectations and what you're going to face in terms of batters and those kind of things.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely more comfortable. I would say I think this team has a lot to do with that. We just mesh a lot better than previous teams I've been on, and just getting the feel with D1 hitters and compared to junior college hitters is a lot different as well. The different parks you play in, different types of guys you're seeing. So I'm definitely more comfortable this year.
How much of that is based on health, too? I know the back injury that you dealt with during the 24-25 school year. I don't even think you traveled maybe till the second or third weekend, so you didn't get to see Sugar Land until this year. And I assume it impacted your fall as well. And it just, I don't think people recognize how it's a full school year for you guys, not just the spring season competition-wise. That work in the fall really pays off in the spring, and yours was kind of truncated, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's been tough. The last year during the fall, I ended up having surgery in November. So I missed the first 2 weeks, ended up missing another week during the season. Didn't get to experience Texas like this year, and this year was great. I mean, that place is just unbelievable. But, yeah, it's definitely affected. Last year, at the end of the year, I had a couple outings where I had spasms in it, and then coming back, I was kind of shaky with it. And now just being able to trust it, you know, the trainers have worked great with me, Casey and Kayla, and being able to trust myself and all the movements I'm doing, even in the weight room with Coach Webb, like being able to trust myself is a big piece, and it's obviously working out. So
your hometown's in southern Minnesota, and you come from a very athletic family. Your mom and your sister were collegiate volleyball players. Lots of cousins played basketball, and I think I heard you say that you kind of had to choose basketball or baseball, what route you were going to follow there as an upperclassman in high school, and it feels like you made the right call here with baseball, but you had some choices to make, I guess.
Yeah, I had quite a few offers to play basketball and baseball. You know, everywhere that kind of talked to me, I was like, I'm playing baseball, and then basketball can be on the side. I was going to do both at my junior college until my elbow surgery, so then I kind of just chose to focus on baseball. I knew my ceiling was higher in baseball, so that was the one I went with.
Yeah. You guys have had a number of guys step into big positions. Mostly those have been position players for you. What has that been like to see the depth of your team come to the forefront and, you know, just have so many different guys who have stepped up in big moments for you here over the last several weeks?
You know, that's probably the most important piece this year. We got guys. We've known that we've had guys that can step up, like Quincy, for example. He's sitting there. He's been a great teammate all year, picking up his guys, whatever. And he comes out and he's hitting 400 now around, and he's been a big piece. I mean, Jimmy, Serge, all those guys are just team. They're team guys. They're not going to sit there and complain that they're not playing. They're going to put their head down, keep working. When they get the opportunity, they take advantage of it. So.
Yeah, certainly has been a huge aspect here of the last month, and fun to watch those guys step into big roles as well. It'll probably continue this weekend against Ohio State, two of the hotter teams in the Big Ten coming into Alexander Field. Just how do you guys keep it rolling?
Yeah, you know, losing last night, you kind of just got to put that behind you. Midweek games are tough to play in, especially against a team like that. They're really good. They're coming in wanting to beat you, wanting to make a difference in their schedule and RPI, whatever. And I think we got a pretty good blueprint of what we're going to do this weekend. And as long as we execute and keep our heads down, we'll be fine. We should come out with a few wins and hopefully a sweep. So.
Always like to give the players an opportunity to shout out some teammates or let us know, who handles the curveball well among the lineup. Who's impressed you among the pitching staff most? Maybe that we haven't given enough love to.
I think lately Gavin Buter. He didn't really get an opportunity last night. He got his one out. Came in and got his one out. But that dude's probably the hardest worker I know. I mean, he's got class during some practices, so he'll be out there an hour early trying to get his work in, and he gets his opportunities lately. He's been taking advantage of them. But also last night, Trevor especially. I don't think he's thrown more than 25 pitches an outing. He went out there and threw 40 and threw 3 scoreless for us. So that was big.
It was fun to see him get extended like that after he'd been kind of just a loogie and effective at that as well.
Yeah.
Who's a tough matchup in the lineup, or who did you not like facing in scrimmages either in fall ball or preseason?
Aaron's always had my number. I mean, I think he's got 2 home runs off me from last year and this year in the fall. But also Weston. Weston had my number too this fall, so those 2 are definitely the tough ones.
Well, it's fun to see it carry over for Weston into the regular season, and big moment for him last night to deposit that first home run into the bullpen. That was cool to see for a freshman. All right, we'd like to learn more about you, Austin, in the personal preferences segment. There are no wrong answers, as I like to say, but we do have you pick a number, and you're to between 1 and 18 this week.
I'll do 3.
3. Favorite athlete or coach, current or retired?
That's tough. Right now, Anthony Edwards is probably my favorite. I'm a big basketball guy, and he's got the Timberwolves in the playoffs right now, so we'll see what happens there.
Yet again, they've made a lot of noise in the playoffs the last couple of years, and those have tipped off this week as well. Always a fun time of the year after the March Madness ends. All right, between 1 and 18, don't pick 3.
13.
13. TV or online show or series you can't stop watching?
Me and my roommates watched Night Agent and Landman. Landman was a good one. Me, Avery, Barron, and Ali all watched all those episodes. So.
All right, binging. All right, last one between 1 and 3. 1 and 18. Don't pick 3. Don't pick 13.
I'll go 17.
17. All right, favorite costume that you recall from the Halloween bash in October of 2025. First one that comes to your head, or tell us what you were.
Well, I was a banana. Me and Gavin Buter were bananas together. Eli Anderson's had some good ones. He had Forrest Gump last year. I can't remember if he wore it again this year. But also Jackson Bissett had Napoleon Dynamite, and that fit him very well. So.
Good to hear. Those are great. You played in front of a big crowd in the midweek game this week. What's that like at Alexander when the weather's nice? Does it give you a little bit of juice there on the mound?
Yeah, I mean, that place is just beautiful. I can't imagine being anywhere else, you know. The grounds crew does an amazing job, and then the fans just come. Especially when it's nice out, they show up, and they're not there just to see baseball. They're there to cheer on because Purdue's such a brand for us, and they're always supporting. It's so nice to see them out there. So.
Yeah. Very good. Looking forward to the weekend. Big one with the Buckeyes coming into town. Looking forward to seeing you get out there once again for the Boilermakers. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. That'll do it for this week. Thanks to Austin Klug and Greg Goff. This podcast, of course, will drop midweek every week, PurdueSports.com and social media. For Ben Turner, I'm Kyle Chargers. Thanks for watching This Week in Purdue Baseball.